Today we will be talking about PowerPoint 2013 in the Pearson book Lesson 4. In this lesson we're going to be talking about inserting and formatting pictures into our PowerPoint presentation. Once those pictures are inserted from a file, we'll talk a little bit about formatting those pictures. The files for this particular activity is best accessed through your Class Files folder. So if you will, please go to Class Files, IIT, PowerPoint, and Chapter 1. You're going to locate the P04 files. Some of these files will be in the format that will be PowerPoint files. Others will be pictures. You want to drag the PowerPoint files to your documents. You want to drag the picture files to your pictures. Once you have copied these files, please go to the Documents folder and you will open up P04 Try A. Alright, our goal here is now to be able to add a picture to this particular presentation. So we're going to go to Slide 2. And on Slide 2 you will have the title, and we're going to add a picture. Now it is possible to add a picture using the conventional thing that we've done through other programs such as Word and Excel by going to the Insert tab and choosing the Pictures option. From here we could add a picture from our computer. However, in PowerPoint, the much easier way to do this, if there is a content placeholder in the slide, is we can use one of the icons that do exist on the slide. This will quickly allow us to insert a table, a chart, a smart art graphic, or in our case, which is what we want right now, is a picture. So we're going to click on the Pictures option here, and we're going to find the picture for this particular activity, which happens to be the P04 Try B picture. Repeating that's the P04 Try B picture. We want to insert that picture into our document. This particular picture happens to be a picture of the Seattle, Washington skyline. For those of you who don't know, this is what's called the Space Needle. And in the background you will see Mount St. Helens, which is an active volcano. Alright, back to the lesson. We're going to go ahead and resize this particular graphic. We're going to use the top right corner to resize the picture on the page. We also want to we want to sharpen the picture. Now you may remember from Microsoft Word that the sharpen settings are found under the Corrections button. Clicking on Corrections, I will see multiple options, of which one of these along the top here is the Soften and Sharpen. We're going to sharpen by 50% is what the book is asking us to do. Our goal now is to add a saturation to this particular picture. Saturation is an option under the Color menu. Clicking on Color, you will find several different color saturations that are available to you. The color saturation the book is asking us to do is 200%, so we're going to choose on the top row the color saturation. Next, we want to add a contrast to our picture. Contrast is available through the Corrections button. Brighten and contrast. And the contrast we wish to add is a 30% contrast. Now, we don't wish to adjust the brightness, so if we go down this middle column, we're looking for a 30% contrast. Now, you will see that there is no 30% contrast. As such, if we want to actually use the 30% setting, we're going to have to go into this Picture Corrections Options menu. So we click on Picture Corrections option, and what that will do is that will open on the right side of the screen this Format Picture task pane. Specifically, it will open to a place where we can adjust the contrast of our picture. So what we're going to now do is we will change the contrast based on the amount the book wants us to change. So I can use my up arrow or down arrow, or in this case, since I'm going to 30%, I'm going to simply type the 30% into my contrast area. The next thing I wish to do is change the height of the picture. We can do that also through the Format Picture task pane. I'm going to click on the size portion. There's 4 different options. There's fill and line, there is effects, size and properties, as well as picture. We're clicking on the size option and opening up the size settings. Here I can adjust the height and width based on the specific dimensions. If I want to make it exactly 6 inches or 5 inches, I could do that through these two options here. But in this case, they want to make it a percentage by scaling it. So we're going to come to the scale height. Specifically, the book has asked us to adjust this to 95% of the original size of the picture. So I'm setting the scale height to 95%. Notice as you're doing that the scale width also adjusts at the same time. If I wish to set one without the other, I would have to uncheck the lock aspect ratio. That, however, is not a part of the exercise today, just mentioning that. Now that we have resized the picture, you will see that the picture does not fit on the page the way we would want it to fit. So we are going to adjust the position of the picture. Well, I'm closing the size area for a moment and switching now to position. Specifically, the book wants us to position this horizontally at 5.3 inches. So I'm going to just use the up arrow to get myself to 5.3. Your computer may require you to use the down arrow depending on what you've done up to this point. But you want to set this to 5.3 inches. And then the vertical position, they want to adjust to exactly 1 inch. So I'm setting the vertical position to 1 inch. The next adjustment that they want to make is they want to set a shadow. Now this can be done in one of two places. On the Format Picture task pane that is open, there is the Effects button. And if I click on Effects, there are options here for shadow. Now you can take these options, you can use this as an option. However, if you are on the formatting toolbar, you can get to these same picture effects using the Picture Effects button, which we have done in the past. Notice the options here: shadow, reflection, glow. These are the same settings that you see in the task pane. We are going to the shadow option. The shadow that they wish to choose is actually in the outer group. In the top row, we're going to pick the option that says Offset, Diagonal, Bottom, Left. Repeating, we're looking for the shadow setting that's Offset, Diagonal, Bottom, Left. They wish to adjust the distance of this shadow from 3 points up to 10 points. So we are adjusting the distance portion of that shadow, which makes the shadow a little bit more obvious in the picture. Again, setting the distance setting to 10 points for this particular shadow. Alright, next we wish to add a new slide to our presentation. Hopefully you will remember that that would involve going to the Home tab now, clicking on Home. we use our New Slide drop-down. The type of slide they wish to add is the content with caption. So I'm going to look through these options until I find content with caption, and I'm going to add that content with caption slide. I'm going to add the title. I'm going to add the title that says "The Haystack at Cannon Beach." The Haystack at Cannon Beach is the title that I'm adding. Alright, now that I've typed in "The Haystack at Cannon Beach" for the title, we are going to add another picture, as this chapter deals with pictures. So we're going to the Content Area section over here on the right, finding the Insert Picture option, clicking on the Pictures button, and the picture that they wish to place here is the P04 Tri-C picture. Again, you're looking for the picture P04 Tri-C picture. Here you will see a picture of a beach scene, and we're just going to make a couple of adjustments to this particular picture. The first adjustment is going to deal with something called soft edges. Now, again, on the Formatting Picture task pane, you will see the soft edges option. Alternatively, if this task pane was not open, we can go to the Picture Effects button, come down to Soft Edges, and specifically they want to use the 25-point soft edges. Notice what this does to the picture. What it does is it diffuses the edges a little bit so that they're not as crisp, which gives the edge of the picture a softer look. So we are choosing the 25-point soft edge. And the final setting that we are going to adjust is what's called an artistic effect. The artistic effect, again, task pane, I could choose from down here. However, as we've learned in previous programs, my artistic effects are right on my format toolbar. And the artistic effect they wish to use is the glow diffused. The glow diffused effect. Now, as you take a look at these, you will notice, as I have stated in previous programs, that these particular artistic effects are not alphabetical. Don't know why Microsoft chose not to alphabetize these items, but they didn't. So we're going to choose this glow diffused option, which is in the second row, the fourth option from the left or the second one from the right, whichever way you want to perceive it. It's this option right here, and it will add a glow diffuse setting. That does wrap us up for this particular file. So we do want to save our work, so you'll want to use the Save button to save your work. If you haven't already saved it to your folder related to today's date, you'll want to do a Save As and make sure you are saving this to your folder with today's date so that you will be able to upload this file to Schoology. In this particular lesson, what we learned was how to insert a picture into PowerPoint, as well as a number of formatting pictures options. Those options included artistic effects, included contrast, also included how to perform saturation and sharpening of pictures. Thank you for your attention.